Hello everyone, and a very warm welcome to each one of you today. As we start with the special webinar presented by Jagran Josh in association with the James Dyson Award. Every great innovation begins long before the prototype. It begins with the curiosity, the willingness to question what everyone else has accepted and imagines a better way. Today's webinar is for every engineering student who has ever built a project, developed a prototype, or looked at the real-world challenge and thought, let's build a better solution. The James Dyson Award is one of the world's most prestigious international design engineering competitions. It celebrates, encourages, and inspires young innovators by recognizing ideas that solve real-world problems through smart engineering and thoughtful design. The philosophy behind the award is simple. Identify a real problem, design an effective solution, build something that works. If you've ever built a prototype, worked on a college project, created a product, or developed an engineering solution that can improve lives, this is your opportunity to showcase it to the world. Entries for this year's James Dyson Awards are open until 15th July, making this the perfect time to understand what makes a winning innovation and how you can participate. With today's webinar, we hope to help students understand not just the award, but also how engineering ideas can evolve into innovations that create real impact. To help us explore this journey, we have an exceptional panel representing academia, industry, and career development. Our first guest is Dr. Shivendra Mathur, Registrar and Professor at NIIT University, where he also heads the industry-linked programs. With decades of experience connecting engineering, education with industry requirements, he has mentored thousands of students in building careers through innovation, experiential learning, and problem solving. Welcome, Dr. Mathur. Joining us next is Alex Hudson, engineer at Dyson. Alex works closely within one of the world's most innovation-driven engineering organizations. His experience in product development, design thinking, and engineering excellence gives him a unique global perspective on what it takes to create products that solve meaningful problems. Welcome, Alex. Our third panelist is Mr. Ritesh Chawla, co-founder of RIAR Pro Learning Solutions. A well-known career counselor and edtech entrepreneur, Ritesh has spent years helping students identify their strengths, build future-ready careers, and bridge the gap between education and industry expectations. Welcome, Ritesh. We're also delighted to be joined by Tunir Sahu, the India national winner of the James Dyson Award 2025. Tunir was recognized for Jivascope, a pocket-sized AI-powered device that enables individuals to self-screen for heart and lung diseases within minutes, making clinical-grade diagnostics more accessible, particularly in underserved communities. Welcome, Tunir. We're delighted to have all of you with us today, gentlemen. Thank you so much for being a part of this initiative with us. Now, before we begin our discussion, let's take a quick look at what the James Dyson Award is all about and why it has become one of the most respected innovation platforms for young engineers.
OnCue is an adaptive keyboard for people living with Parkinson's disease,
to help people recover from breast cancer removal surgery and to prevent lymphedema.
A product to make insulin injections safer.
We still give them the same sort of movement that a brace would, with more comfortability.
Możemy uzyskać wiarygodny obraz jakości wody w czasie rzeczywistym i możemy reagować, zanim zanieczyszczenie wymknie się spod kontroli.
Ve daha interaktif hale getirmek için Relay Steps tasarladık.
Entering the James Dyson Award changed my life.
It's a recognition of our efforts to address a critical global challenge.
This award has given me the confidence to drive forward and develop this product into something that could save lives.
My advice for who wants to apply to James Dyson Award, just do it.
Believe in yourself, seek out every single opportunity that's out there, and I think you have nothing really to lose.
If you have ambition to change the world, enter the James Dyson Award.
Now, to help us better understand the James Dyson Award and what it takes to transform an idea into a globally recognized innovation, I'd now like to invite over here Alex Hudson to share his insights on Dyson's philosophy of engineering, innovation, and the James Dyson Award.
Thank you very much, and it's a pleasure to... I'd like to start by talking a little bit about the James Dyson Award. So the James Dyson Award is built on James Dyson's problem-solving mentality, and it represents an annual international design competition challenging current engineering design students and those within 4 years of graduating to design something that solves a problem. We'll be talking a little bit more about that brief later on. So first of all, a little bit about me and my journey within Dyson. So I started at Dyson at the age of 18 as an undergraduate engineer and joined Dyson's university program, the Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology. And through that time, I learned a lot about engineering and about design. And I also began inventing products for Dyson as well. So I was granted a patent for an AI vision system, which is recently launched on one of our products. And I graduated from the Dyson Institute of Engineering and Technology in the year 2022. And throughout that time, Dyson really instilled into me the mindset of problem solving and problem solving culture, which is super, super important for the James Dyson Award. After I graduated, I was fortunate enough to spend 3 months researching products within India, actually, and within Japan as well. And during that time, I was talking to consumers, visiting homes and understanding the local markets so we could design products better for those markets. And finally, at the present day, I'm leading the environmental care strategy. So that's our portfolio of fans, purifiers, humidifiers, and I've been leading that this year. So now on to a little bit about Dyson and Dyson's history. And as you may know, Dyson sort of started from one vacuum and has scaled to become a global technology company. So it all started with that first vacuum and James Dyson's first invention, which was the dual cyclone technology, which increased the vacuum suction power and removed the single-use consumable, which is the vacuum bag at the time. And those vacuum bags contain polypropylene, so it's a type of plastic which could not be decomposed in landfill. So it took 5,127 prototypes for James to create that first piece of technology, as you can see there, DCO1 on the left, but we've come a long way since then. We've recently launched the pencil vac, and as the technology's changed, Dyson has grown as well. So our expertise now ranges from research to design and development teams across the world. And what started as a mechanical product is now a highly efficient software connected sensing product as well. Over the years, and you can see a bit of a timeline here, our philosophy has remained really quite simple. It's solving problems that others ignore. And most recently, we've done that through the launch of the Dyson HushJet Compact Purifier, which is an extremely quiet purifier, providing indoor air quality improvements. We've also recently launched the pencil vac and, of course, clean and wash hygiene and spot and scrub AI as well, which are all packed full of new technology. So we continue to create and innovate, and that's all underpinned by our design process. So everything starts with a problem. Dyson engineers think of ways to address the problem by developing a cycle of ideas, and these are created and tested iteratively to see all the different ways that this problem could be tackled. So it really does come down to design, build, iterate, and just repeat that cycle over and over again. And we learn over time what works and what doesn't, and we uncover new challenges and new problems to solve along the way. And if we go on to the next slide, you'll see a little bit of a preview as to what went into one of our most popular inventions. This is just 10 of 600 prototypes that were made for the supersonic hairdryer. And when you lay them all out like this, it looks like quite a linear process of starting from one to the other. But of course, as the previous slide showed, this is a circular process and there'll be lots of jumping around between ideas. But what I would really encourage any aspiring designer or engineer to do is to prototype and to do it quickly and to quickly find the next problem to solve within your design. So this problem-solving mentality informs the James Dyson Award. Ultimately, we're challenging students to solve a problem. So the James Dyson Award operates across 28 countries and regions, and the brief is really, really simple. Design something that solves a problem. The best entries, those that win, will put the problem they're solving at the forefront of their design. So there's some great prizes to be had. The national winners receive a prize. The national runners-up will also receive a prize. We have the top 20 global shortlist, and then the global runners will also receive a prize, and global winners receive an even larger prize there as well. So in each country, a panel of external judges will select a national winner and 2 runners-up. National winners in each country receive around 6 lakh, and then the top 20 is decided by a panelist of Dyson engineers. And then finally, from that top 20, Sir James Dyson personally selects the global winning prizes, who can win up to 36 lakh. It's not just about the prize money, of course, but the global media exposure is what really, really helps you to boost your profile and may help secure investment in further development of your ideas. So in 2025, we have the national winner Givascope, which I think we mentioned earlier, which was the national winner, and it's a pocket-sized AI-powered device enabling quick self-screening of heart and lung diseases. And since receiving the award, they've been further refining the device and making progress towards clinical validation and wider accessibility, with the vision of making this accessible across India. So really, really exciting stuff. Further, Onco Alert, which was the first Indian entry to reach the international top 20, addressed another fatal health challenge, oral cancer, where many of the cases are only detected at advanced stages due to limited screening. So OncoAlert is a rapid, needle-free oral cancer test provided by nanotechnology with a 95% accuracy using biodegradable paper instead of plastics. So a really, really amazing problem to solve there. Designed as a low-cost solution that required no labs, specialists, or electricity, it enabled large-scale home screening. And that product, I believe, is still ongoing today as well. We have a few more examples for you as well. The 2025 Global Sustainability winner was WaterSense, an autonomous water quality monitoring device. And the 2025 Global Medical winner was OnQ, which is a smart keyboard for people living with Parkinson's. So all of these projects are tackling really, really amazing problems that exist out there and really embodying Dyson's design philosophy to build something quickly to solve a problem that is affecting people's livelihoods and health as well. We have some further success stories. We've got Soapen and Petit Pli. So nearly 70% of our past international winners have launched their own businesses. And these are 2 great examples of that. So Soapen was a colourful pen made from soap, which encouraged hand washing among children. And they've been working on expanding their portfolio since winning an award and increasing the impact of their product. And they've even featured on TV shows such as Shark Tank in the US as well. Really, really amazing stuff. And Petit Pli was the UK national winner in 2017. And he now has a store in Battersea Power Station and sells his products globally. So another really, really amazing success story. So I'm sure by now you might already be convinced that entering is a really good idea. But so entry is really, really easy. You can enter online via the James Dyson Award website. You must currently be studying or having recently graduated in the last 4 years of an engineering-related degree course. You can enter as a team with up to 10 people. And the main things you want to consider is basically framing the problem. What problem are you trying to solve and how does your design tackle that problem? The inclusion of a prototype also helps. And if you can show, as we showed on previous slides, that iterative design process of where you started and what took you to get to your end result, then that would be really, really beneficial as well. Ultimately, if you can, adding a video to your application is also a really, really smart thing to do. So this is the perfect time to be talking about this because entries close shortly on the 15th of July. And then as we go through the judging process, we'll announce national winners on the 9th of September and the top 20 will be announced in middle of October until November. Finally, we announce the global winners. So just to recap, if you can, include a video, include a prototype, make sure you get your entry in on time, send your application to your friends. Like I said, you can have a team of up to 10 people as well if you like. And you know your invention better than anyone. So now you've got the opportunity to share what you've created. So entering is free, and it has a real opportunity to bring your ideas, your design, and your personality to the global stage as well.
Well, thank you, Alex, for that insightful presentation and also for sharing those valuable perspectives with us. We hope our audience now has a better understanding of the opportunities available and feels inspired to take the next step in their innovation journey. Well, one of the best ways to understand the James Dyson Award is to hear directly from someone who has experienced the journey themselves. I'd now like to invite Tunir Sahu, the India national winner of the James Dyson Award 2025, to share his story from identifying a real-world problem to building an award-winning innovation.
So, hey everyone. Thank you for having me. I am Tunir Sahu. Little bit background about myself. So I am an undergrad in pharmaceutical technology, then MBA from IIM Kashipur. So little bit of a background about my product. My product is known as Jivascope. So it's a AI powered auscultation device that you have heard about. So it screens basic heart murmurs and diseases like tuberculosis. Like these diseases in rural India are really huge, and we. Oh, sorry, I thought I was. So hello everyone. My name is Tunir Shahu. A little bit background about myself. I'm an undergrad in pharmaceutical technology and master's in business administration or MBA from IIM Kashipur. And I have built Jivascope. Jivascope is, as you'll all know, is a AI-powered auscultation device which screens hearts and lung diseases for specifically rural audience in India. So Jivascope is a device that is now primarily screening critical diseases like tuberculosis, where the doctor is to patient ratio is 1 is to maybe 11,000 or 10,000. It's a device that is made for your end user, where no matter of what degree of medical expertise you are having, you would be able to use this device. So talking about James Dyson Award, so Jivascope, I have been building Jivascope since long time, but after James Dyson Award, the real progress happened in both in terms of building product, because I had gotten global validation from juries, esteemed juries from all over the world. Also, I got some feedback about how to improve the product, and the best thing that happened to me post the winning James Dyson Award is the media coverage that I got, and the right amount of investor connect that I got through those media coverage. And luckily, I was able to raise our seed funding this year only, post James Dyson Award. So now we are at a clinical trial stage, and we have MOUs with Government of West Bengal, and also we got nominated for the Presidential Youth Awards and many other awards post James Dyson Award. So any aspiring engineer who's watching this stream, I would highly encourage you to participate in James Dyson Award, because it's one of the life-changing opportunities that you might be having to take your product from a stage where it is just a college project to a validated prototype to a stage where you can get real funding and impact people's life.
Well, thank you, Tunir, for sharing your thoughts over here with us. An inspiring journey also. Your story is a reminder that every impactful innovation begins with identifying a real problem and having the determination to solve it. Let's now move on into our panel discussion, ladies and gentlemen, where we will be exploring this year's theme, empowering young engineers to solve real-world problems through innovation, and design. Together, we'll discuss how engineering students can cultivate an innovator's mindset, harness emerging technologies like AI responsibly, and transform ideas into solutions that create meaningful impact. We'll also explore how platforms like the James Dyson Award can help young innovators take their ideas from the classroom to the global stage. With that, let's begin our discussion. My first question is going to be addressed towards Dr. Mathur. Engineering education today is evolving rapidly, Dr. Mathur. Beyond academia, excellence, students are increasingly expected to solve practical problems. How important is it for engineering students, doctor, to develop a problem-solving mindset from the very beginning of their college journey? Dr. Mathur?
So the short answer now is we are living in an era where technology is evolving faster than any curriculum. That's the hard reality. And with the advent of Gen AI, information is available instantly. Now, the competitive advantage, which was earlier used to be how much you know, now it has changed to how you're able to solve the real problems. So that's why we say that the students must develop a problem solving mindset from day one. Engineers who ask questions like why not, and what if will always stay ahead from those who simply memorize the answers. Example is in front of us when Tunir said that he solved a real life problem, a problem which is so prevalent. So the question now is, we call it in psychology, we call it the IKEA effect, wherein people value what they build themselves. The same is true for learning. Students don't become engineers by consuming some AI generated answers or just by studying. They become engineers by building, testing, failing, and improving. Same principle which Alex has just explained. So they tested when Alex mentioned that he came to India and studied the real landscape for the vacuum cleaners. He tested, he built, failed, improved, and now the great product is there. So that's the key. So you have to bring in a concept where all the disciplines merge together, where you think critically, collaborate across disciplines, and solve real world problems. And every project built is just not a prototype, but it also gives you enough confidence. I'm very, very delighted to hear this story from Tunir.
Thank you so much, Dr. Mathur. I shall now move on, and my next question is going to be addressed towards Alex. Dyson has always been associated with solving everyday problems through engineering. From your experience, what separates an innovative idea from just another engineering project? Alex, over to you.
Thanks very much, and that's a great question. I just want to bring it back to the problem. Great innovations, they all start with a real problem that affects people's everyday lives, not with creating a technology and then trying to find a purpose for it afterwards. Innovation is about creating solutions that are simple, intuitive, and genuinely improve people's lives rather than making them more complicated. And of course, engineering is an iterative process, as we've spoken about a lot already. The first idea is rarely the final solution. The best and most innovative ideas are always going to come out of that prototyping, testing, and refining. So the most successful innovations, they're going to balance the technical excellence with the real world user needs and the practical usability to make sure they work effectively in the real world. And it's really about that holistic design process that's going to bring out the best innovations.
Right. Thank you so much, Alex. And now I shall be moving on. Many students have technical skills, but they struggle with identifying meaningful problems. So my next question is addressed towards you, Ritesh. If you had to give one piece of advice to students looking for their first innovation idea, where should they start looking for? What makes a problem worth solving? Ritesh, what are your thoughts on the same question, or should I say the same topic?
Well, I thank you first of all for having me here. I would like to set the context first because I am the voice which comes from education, edtech, and basically career, which where I come across a lot of students who are aspirant of engineer or those who are doing engineering. So the culture of just moving towards a marks and a mark sheet or a degree, people has to move towards a problem, and AI can really work as an enabler where first of all, we need to understand that AI is a powerful tool, right? It is not an autopilot. So one has to use to accelerate their ideas, and AI can be your best research assistant. It can be a brainstorming partner. It can basically multiply your productivity, basically. And one piece of advice which I would like to give it to student that they have to really work upon their ideas instead of sleeping over it. Like Alex just mentioned, that identifying the problem is major thing. Like the first step is identifying the problem and then to make the solution instead of just making some solution and making the problem more complex. So just work upon your idea and implement it.
Right. Thank you so much, Ritesh. And there you have it, dear students, that start working on your idea rather than just sitting over it, is the advice you just got from Ritesh over here. I'll move on. Almost every engineering student we see builds projects during college, but only a handful evolve into products that create real world impact. So, my next question is addressed towards Dr. Mathur. How can institutions encourage students to transform classroom projects into innovations that solve real world challenges, Doctor?
I'll just pick up the cue where Ritesh just left. To add to it, it's just not, don't look for an idea. Don't look for, don't chase unicorn ideas. Instead, look for an irritation. Where is the problem actually lies? If we teach our students that every innovation starts with someone saying there has to be a better way to do this. There has to be a efficient way to do this. And this is the problem we are going to solve for a large number of people. I think that's the crux, that's the main point where the innovation actually starts with. So students often think that they need $1 billion idea. Actually, they do not. They need to become better observers. It can be as simple. Look around your hostel, your classroom, home, community, maybe long queue in the cafeteria, confusing campus processes, water wastage, traffic, healthcare, etc. These everyday frustrations are opportunities waiting to be solved. So instead of waiting for a very great, profound idea and to become unicorn, I think that's not where it starts. Second point, don't just stop at observation. Talk to people. That's the second key. Too often, engineers, and we have a habit to fall in love with our solutions before truly understanding the problem, real problem. A small example of it, wheelchair design. You can solve, to invest millions of dollars into designing a wheelchair. But when you talk to an actual user, it may come out to be that I need a one-hand operation because with the other hand, I want to hold the baby. So it can be a simple problem, and very profound solutions can be around it. So now coming to the next big elephant in the room, the AI. Of course, yes, AI, but we have to, as Ritesh also mentioned, we have to use it very, very wisely. Let AI help you design, prototype, and test, but don't let it choose the problem for you. That fundamental thing still rests with the human being. Asking the right question is the prerogative of a human and not of a machine until today. So that requires empathy, curiosity, and human insight. And that's what we need to develop.
Right. Thank you so much, Doctor. Some very insightful pieces of advice being given over here. And we do hope that all our viewers who are tuning in with us right now during this session are also having some good takeaways and learnings from this entire discussion that we are having. I'll move on, and my next question is going to be addressed towards Ritesh once again. Ritesh, students often hesitate because they think their ideas are too small. How can they overcome this hesitation and gain confidence in presenting their innovations? What insight would you want to give over there on this?
Well, I believe that no idea is a small idea, is one. So one has to look for a problem, identify a problem, and that should start with our own frustration. Like Shivendra just mentioned, that from the daily to-do tasks, you can actually identify what the problem is. Generally, the issue is every founder, or I would call it every engineer or every two engineer, they will fall in love with their own product. But the ground validation is really important. Like the Alex mentioned that he came to India, right? For his own ground research. So again, coming back to the point that one should start with their own frustration. The first problem are the ones you personally live. You commute every day. You live in your hostel, in your locality, with your families. You have all small daily struggles. So that is one where you can actually find out the problem, which you can identify and you can work upon. A problem which is worth solving, if it's real, felt by so many, and currently solved badly or not at all solved in the industry or in the economy, you don't need a few problems. You basically need a solution to an old one, right? So we basically need so many Tunir who actually start right from, I believe Tunir must have started not only in college but during his school days, right? So that is actually the purpose. And of course, don't look for something impressive. Look for something which is true. It can be impactful, or the impact comes from empathy, not the complexity, like Alex also mentioned, right? And of course, stop searching for a big idea. Start noticing a small, which is annoying so many people, and you can really build a solution. And that's where every real innovation begins. That's what I feel.
Okay. Thank you so much, Ritesh, for giving us those insights. Let's now talk specifically about the James Dyson Award. And my next question is going to be addressed towards Alex for students who are hearing about the award for the first time. Why should they seriously consider participating? What makes this platform unique compared to other student innovation competitions? Alex?
Yeah, it's a great question. And beyond the prize money, there's so many more opportunities out of the James Dyson Award. Of course, it's an opportunity, as I mentioned earlier, to gain international recognition through the media. And the amount of opportunities that opens up afterwards is really, really worth considering. And obviously, we had some examples earlier of people who are still continuing with their ideas today and have created businesses around it. So that's one aspect. But in another aspect, I would say just participation itself is a really, really valuable learning experience to help you strengthen your technical, communication and problem-solving skills, and something that you can really talk about in the future as well. So we've helped many past participants transform from academic into startups, research opportunities into businesses. But above all, it's about encouraging young engineers to have confidence in their ideas and demonstrate that a meaningful innovation can happen and have a big impact while you're still a student as well.
Thank you so much, Alex. Thank you very much. And many students are probably now wondering exactly whether they are ready enough. Let's address a few common concerns over here now. So this is going to be a rapid round for all our panelists over here. I'd like each of you panelists to answer very briefly. Now, my first question in that is going to be addressed towards one misconception students have about innovation. Well, the floor is open for all of our panelists over here, whoever wishes to take this one first.
I think I will take this first. The innovation needs big funding or a lab. It needs an observation and a willingness to build, basically. So many have misconception about this.
Right. Is there anyone else on our esteemed panel over here who wants to give their insight also on this question?
Yeah, I think in addition to that, I think one of the biggest misconceptions is that innovation means inventing something completely new.
Right.
Maybe it is not. Most successful innovations, as we see, are simply better solutions to existing problems. I mean, vacuum cleaners existed, but Dyson's vacuum cleaner solved another kind, and it is more efficient, it's more powerful, more user-friendly. So it's not about inventing something new all the time. It's about how to improve an existing product or a process. That is an addition.
Right. Well put, Dr. Mathur. Anyone else who wants to give their insight also on this question? Else I'll move on to the next one. Well, I guess no. So I'm going to move on to my next rapid round question. One habit every engineering student should develop today if they want to become an innovator? Our dear panelists, who's going for this one?
I'd like to take this one, yeah.
Yes,
I
Alex.
think the one habit all engineers have and should try and keep alive as we go from students into the real world as well is staying curious, observing how people interact with the world and never stop asking the question, why does it work that way? Or why can't it be better when we feel frustrated? So let your frustrations be heard, stay curious, keep asking why all the time. And I think those problems they're gonna show themselves to you very, very quickly if you're able to do that.
Brilliantly said out there. Keep asking the whys.
I will.
Yes, who's going for it?
I will just add to what Alex said, but be inquisitive, build consistently. One rough prototype will beat actually 10 perfect plans. So don't wait for the perfection to start, but start. That's the one liner which I would like to put.
Yes.
So building on that, I would like to say that the ship that waits for the perfect conditions never sails. So you should be like rapid. You should have a rapid iteration of prototypes. Like, do not wait for like to build a perfect thing, because as I said, a ship that waits for the perfect condition never sails. Build on prototypes, build on things, and what I love about what Professor Mathur said, that go and talk to people, because this country needs innovators. This country needs engineers. This country needs, there are huge problems to be solved yet. So you have to be passionate about, like, you should love, firstly, I would say love what you do. Like, if it's not everybody's cup of tea, but I understand. So you should be passionate about the problem you are solving. So keep that passion alive, and no problem is too small to solve.
Right. Thank you so much, Sunir, and thank you to all our panelists for addressing this question so nicely. I'll move on to the next question now, gentlemen. One quality that matters more than technical knowledge. What would that be for each one of you? I'll start with Dr. Mathur, I guess.
I would put it curiosity.
Okay.
Because why does this problem exist? If we have this spark in everybody, I think we will have better solutions.
Right.
Can there be a better way? What if we tried something different? Those are questions where innovation begins. So technical knowledge will follow. But if the fundamental question exists, I think rest everything is manageable.
Nice. So curiosity is off the table as an answer now, gentlemen. Anyone else who has another response, or possibly yes, another response?
I would say don't be afraid to be different. On the back of curiosity, often the best solutions to these problems are different and aren't things people have considered before. And actually, there's beauty in being different. We're all different people anyway, and we should celebrate that. So if your design is maybe not the way that people would think about the solution, then almost even better, because those are the designs that stand out the most.
Wow, two brilliant responses over there. Dear students, curiosity and don't be afraid to just be yourselves, because you're unique as you are. Do we have Ritesh and Tunir also coming in to give their insights as a response in this question, or should I be moving on?
Well, I will follow Dr. Mathur. Curiosity is one, because skill can be taught. One has to remain inquisitive. Like Alex also mentioned, that why is the most important thing, because unless you don't have that why, you won't be able to reach to the solution.
Right. Nicely put.
So
yes.
So I would say actually not one skill, but actually two skills. First would be a good storyteller, because innovations are there. But if you aren't a good storyteller, then the innovations won't reach that much about the people. Because I started being an entrepreneur very recently. I know the power of storytelling, that it can increase the reach sufficiently. Another thing that is a very underrated thing that I would say, that be disciplined about what you do. Like, innovation won't happen one night. You have to be, it's a continuous process. Like, you have to be disciplined enough to come again and again and again, try again and again. So discipline and like storytelling are the must have for like anybody, especially in engineering.
Right. So there you go, to all our dear students and viewers who have tuned in right now. You have your answers out there. Curiosity, stay confident. Your uniqueness is what makes you special and different from the rest. And then discipline, of course, and be a good storyteller, amongst many other insights that we had on this question. I'll now move on to the next question for our panelists over here in this rapid fire round. What's one thing AI can never replace in a great engineer, gentlemen? Who wants to take this one first?
I think empathy, because AI can optimize a solution. So empathy is one which I would like to put.
Right. Anyone else who wants to give their insight on this one? Alex or?
Yeah, sure. I'll build on my previous answer of that. AI can't be you, and your experience of the problems around you is individual to AI. And although we can feed as much context into AI as we like, it's never going to have the same amount of curiosity and judgment and empathy as you do. And your understanding of people, the environment, and the problems within it is way, way, way more advanced than AI can ever be. So of course, use it as a tool. But yeah, I would say don't worry. We are still the greatest, I think, engineering minds, and I think we have to harness AI to help that rather than to replace it.
Right. Very nicely put indeed. Now, before we conclude, I would like to extend my sincere thanks to all our esteemed panelists, Dr. Shivendra Mathur, Alex Hudson, Ritesh Chawla, and Tunir Sahu, for sharing your invaluable insights, experiences, and inspiring stories with us today. It has been truly an enriching discussion. As we've heard throughout today's discussion, innovation doesn't begin with having all the answers. It begins with curiosity. It begins with noticing a problem that others overlook. And most importantly, it begins with taking the first step. If you're an engineering student or a recent graduate working on an invention that solves a real-world problem, the James Dyson Award is your opportunity to present your idea on a global stage. Here's how you can enter the James Dyson Award 2026 and begin your journey. Visit the James Dyson Award website, click How to Enter, submit your project with a description, images, and a short video explaining your innovation. Remember, entries for this year's James Dyson Award close on the 15th July, so don't wait until your ideas feel perfect. Every great innovation starts with a first prototype and a willingness to improve. You still have 2 weeks to participate. On that note, thank you once again to our speakers and to everybody who joined us today in this webinar. We hope this session motivates you to build, innovate, and take your ideas from the classroom to the real world. All the very best, and we look forward to seeing your innovations at the James Dyson Award. Thank you, and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.